Good 35 minutes. I mean, we got 2 wickets, but the initial plan was to get 3. But two was good for me.
Did the way your lower order sort of extend things always make it the perfect little session for you in the end?
Yeah, it was beautiful to see the guys going out there and fighting for the team, but it's always something that we talk about, and all our other guys, they love to bat. So when they get the chance to go out there, they like to do their best so they can come back in the dressing room and say, see, I tell you, I can bat.
Do you feel like you've got some scars there with the Australian top order? Obviously, you've been struggling for both sides top orders, but you seem to be on top quite early.
Yeah, well, over this game and the last game is a trend that you're always getting wickets with the new ball. Something's always happening with the new ball. So we were eager and ready to go out there, and we know that the guys wouldn't want bat. Obviously, in an evening session, a couple of overs to go is probably the most challenging time to bat as an opener. So yeah, we just wanted to put the balls in the right area, and hopefully we can get some wickets, and we got 2.
Is the way John went about it this morning, is that sort of the way to go as an opener, given it's so challenging with the new ball? It puts sort of pressure back on the Australian guys?
Well, I can't say that's the way to go, because if that's not your style, you're not going to feel comfortable playing that way. But that's the kind of batsman John is. As I said in the last game after he got out playing the scoop, he's a guy that you don't know what to expect with him. Anything can happen. So, I mean, he played well, and then we saw he played I don't want to say a reckless shot, but it was against the run of play, and we lost him. But he had a good innings today.
When sort of Brandon and Shai were going sort of well in the middle there, you would have been hoping of a sort of first innings lead. Was that the plan, I guess, through that middle session?
Yeah, well, it just goes to show what kind of wicket it is. At that point in the game, we thought that we were on top and cruising, and then bang, bang. So it just goes to show that the wicket is one that anything can happen, and you have to be, you know what I mean, wary of what you're doing. You can't really just shut your eye and play your strokes. You have to really be zoned in while batting, because the wicket is playing some tricks, some bouncing, some keeping low. So, as I said, anything can happen.
Do you think we'll see more of that over tomorrow, I guess, and the next day, sort of feeling low, jumping a little bit?
Yeah, well, that's the nature of Test cricket. As the pitch deteriorates, you never know. The bounce always gets variable. So, yeah, I expect the ball to roll and bounce as usual. Typical Caribbean wicket.
Rostan, how much have you scouted some Kawaja in terms of trying to get him around the wicket since other teams have done it, and you've had a bit of success here?
Well, yeah, we obviously have our plans for each and every batsman, and I guess that's the area we're trying to exploit, and it's been working for us so far.
Was there any chat out in the middle when Nathan Lyon got medical attention late in the day, and he has to get another over in Australia?
No, from the time we saw him got hit, we know he's an experienced customer. We knew that was going to be the last over. So, you know, this is cricket. This is all in the tactics. It's all in the strategy. So I can't bash him for that.
Would you have done the same?
Of course.
It feels like you picked Brandon King kind of for a reason. He's obviously known as a white ball player. Was that the sort of innings today you envisaged from Brandon? You showed glimpses in Barbados, managed to kick on a bit today. Is that the model you had in your mind when picking him?
Well, firstly, I didn't pick him, but I guess that was the thought behind the selectors in picking Brandon King. He's an aggressive batsman. He likes to play his strokes. When he gets whiff, he would score. When the ball's up, he would score. So yeah, we expect Brandon to be the type of player to try to put pressure back onto the bowlers, and he did that today. When the ball was in his areas, he capitalized, and anytime the bowlers were off, he made them pay. So yeah, that's the kind of innings that we're looking for from Brandon. And I mean, I was hoping that he could get the 100, but he fell short, but it was still a great innings.
Any thoughts on what might be a realistic run chase on that if it does keep getting harder?
I think anything under 200 runs, I think we'll be able to get that.
Josh, how do you sum up that day? Obviously, good to take a first innings lead, but obviously would have liked to be a few less down at stumps.
Yeah, probably just exactly that. I thought we bowled pretty well for the majority of the day. The ball probably got a little bit soft towards the end. Well, quite soft, and the wicket got. So it doesn't have much pace, but I think the new ball is obviously key. We've seen that probably throughout the whole series. So this wicket's no different. As we saw there late at night, that's the toughest time to bat with a new ball. And I guess if you can get through that, we've seen runs flow through the middle order more so. but yeah, I think from a bowling effort, it was pretty good. We stuck to our guns. We created opportunities, and yeah, as you said, the first thing's lead.
Did you find that it started to play a few more tricks today at the wicket? Obviously, the new ball brings it out a little bit more. We saw with a couple of balls there to Usman. Are you finding that as well throughout your innings?
Yeah, I think any new ball from here on in will be very hard work. I think the wicket probably held together better than I thought it would after looking at it before the game. But again, the soft ball doesn't do too much off it. So I think, yeah, it'll be interesting to see tomorrow how the wicket actually plays, and if it sort of goes off a cliff or it just continually slowly gets harder to bat. But I think it definitely won't get easier to bat.
What'd you make of Pat's caught and bowled? He made yours look pretty comfortable there, didn't he?
Just before he bowled it, I thought, where's his bat pad? Because it's sort of been in the game a lot. And I thought they had it before. We had a couple of close calls in there, so hell of a grab. He's taken some good ones, I think, caught and bowls over the years. So yeah, it's good.
A 30-40 minute session like that is always tough for openers. You've obviously got one guy who's been there a lot in his career and one who hasn't. Just kind of, I know it's not your job to go out there, and we'll just talk through, I guess, what the feeling is like around the dressing room when you know you've got just that. You can't really gain much, you can only lose things, really.
Yeah, I think obviously never been in the position, but it must be the hardest time to bat, to be honest. I know they're just fielding out there, they're not bowling, but they're still going to be, it was very taxing out there in that heat, bit heavy-legged, and then you obviously got to go straight out and face potentially what is the hardest time to bat. So yeah, it's unfortunate we lost two, but good signs from Grenny there and Gaz to get through, and as long as we get through that new ball potentially tomorrow for the first hour, I think batting's going to be a little bit easier. So, but yeah, I think that's probably a fair bit of respect for the openers. They get thrown in those situations quite a lot.
I know there's a bit to play out, but do you sense it's a similar thing where 200 might be a tough chase, or do you suspect you might want a bit more than that?
Yeah, I think sort of have to see how the first hour goes tomorrow. It's sort of potentially, there's going to be up and down throughout the whole day, but if the wicket does change as quickly as Barbados, then potentially 200 might be enough. But yeah, you always want more.
Josh, you got thrown into international cricket very young. Sammy's in a similar boat. It's a pretty intense time for him now, no doubt. Do you have any advice for a guy of his age, having been there and done that, and how to navigate this period for him?
Yeah, it's tough to take my mind back to those times, really. It was a long time ago. But I think just you're here for a reason. I guess you just trust that you're in this position because you're a good player. I mean, I just said before, every time I've bowled him in the last few months, he just sort of keeps getting better and better, it feels like. He's such a quick learner, he absorbs everything, in particular, obviously, from the other batters. You got Steve Smith there to learn off. You got someone like Marnus as well, who loves talking batting. So, he got thrown in a tough situation there. But, it feels like he just keeps... We saw in the first innings, he played some really nice shots, put some pressure back on the bowlers. So I think he's trending in the right direction. But yeah, it's tough at 19.
In what way, if any, did the bowling unit's plans change from the way you bowled in Barbados?
Not a great deal. I think you got to keep it pretty simple in there. Repeat entries into the right areas. We found potentially maybe back of the length was doing more off the wicket today than that fuller 5-6 metre length. So I guess the stumps might not have been in play as much, but I think as the time goes on this wicket, I think the stumps are going to be hugely in play. So it's just about, again, smacking that length, getting that up and down movement and going from there.
Is it possible to identify the sort of areas of the pitch where the ball is just shooting and keeping low?
It was in Barbados. There was a nice little crack for right armers to right handers from one end, as we saw most of the wickets fall that end. But this one sort of got a few little things going on all over. Doesn't feel like anything's on a perfect spot, but if you get a shooter from any length, it's pretty much trouble. So we'll see tomorrow.
Do you know how Nathan Lyon is, what that issue was towards the end, and if he's gone all right?
Yeah, I only saw him briefly as he came in, but I think he'll be right. He's a pretty tough customer.
And there was that period back in Perth when Pat Cummins, Pat was night watchman. Like, is the policy now it's Nathan's job again? Do you know how that's all worked out?
No, I've no idea actually. I think Gaz is predominantly the night watchman. Pat Paddy, if you've seen him well, he might want to get up the order. But I think whoever does it, as we saw Gaz do a great job tonight. So it's a tricky position, but Gaz is always taking it on.
And just that 10th wicket stand from the Windies, I mean, clearly Alzari and Shamar were really attacking a lot, and the last two were sort of just blocking them and leaving them. What was going through your mind then, and did you sort of try to change a few different things?
There wasn't much really we could do. The ball was in its 70 overs old. It was as soft a ball as I've seen in a long time. Wicket wasn't offering a great deal. I think obviously the more dangerous partnership was when the Joseph boys were batting together. We didn't feel at the end there that they were getting away from us at all. They were just chipping it around, getting the odd run here or there, which is you can relax a little bit more and stick to what we're doing. But Trav's got the golden arm. He loves coming on and picking up wickets when no one else can. So it's good to have him there.
Josh, you mentioned it was pretty hot out there. Just how many sets of whites did you go through today, do you reckon?
I got 3 of each. I got 3 shirts and 3 pants, but we cycled through those probably half a dozen times each. So it was a tough day out there. It was hot. I don't know how the Windies boys found it yesterday, but today just felt humid. I think maybe after the rain last night, but it's tough.
And there's no talk of Gaz. He's handed over the song. He's not trying to hand over the night watching duties as well.
He probably would if he could. Deep down, I think he loves it though.